Ya готова.
Okay.
Got it.
So, hi everyone. Today's our guest is Raykhan. She recently moved from Hungary to Sweden. I know her since we both worked in ExxonMobil. I'm really excited to talk with her right now. And now, maybe Raykhan will talk about her experience as well. She will introduce herself.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. Hi, Dana. Thank you very much for inviting me, for hosting this meeting. And it's a great opportunity for me to share more. And I'm very happy and I'm honored to be here. So I'm Raykhan, and I just recently moved to Sweden a month ago, so quite new. And before that, I lived in Budapest in Hungary for 5 years. I worked first as in a controller's department with a revenue accounting team. I've been there for almost 2 years at ExxonMobil. And then after that, I transferred to another company. It was Bayer Crop Science, and I worked under the division of trade compliance. I was a trade compliance specialist. I worked there for a year. And after that, I decided that I wanted to move to Sweden. And that's how I finally came here.
So tell us about the differences, cultural differences, anything you feel weird in Sweden or anything you felt in Budapest. Now it's kind of that you wanted to see in Sweden, like any kind of cultural shocks you experienced.
Yeah, well, a lot. I must say that it was a lot because everything is different. So getting used to live in Hungary, I thought there wouldn't be much difference because since it's Europe, it's a European Union, I assumed that something would be similar, but the changes are radical because first of all, people here, they really have a strong balance between work and life and personal life. And they won't be working overtime, like if we're talking about the work culture. And here it is normal to ask questions and to be curious and to, let's say, sometimes even be stupid, because it won't be as judged as I would have assumed. Yeah. And first shock that I had, the cultural shock, was the prices. The prices are really high here. And it was hard for me at first to get used to, because opening the bank account takes some time. And that's why I was using my Hungarian card.
Oh.
Bank card, and everything that I bought in the groceries and or at supermarkets, I received it in a Hungarian foreign amount. And I was like, oh my God, well, this is like a lot. But then compared to the average salary that people get here, that people earn, it's a normal price. So I just need to get used to that. Another shock was for me that here, well, I haven't experienced it yet, but here everyone already is preparing me to the harsh winter period, because the winter time is very dark here. So it gets so when you're going to work at, let's say, at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. it's still dark, and when you come back from work it's still dark. Well, coming from Astana, living in Astana, I know what this feels like, but still the light time is very short here in winter, and that's why people try to wake up earlier, which was my another cultural shock is that people get to work at 7 here, and it's normal. So if you come to work at 8:30, it's already late. So the latest that you can come is at 8, but nobody's gonna judge you. So people don't come, don't reach out and saying, hey, what's this? Everyone is minding their own business. So nobody's gonna be complaining about it. And another thing that I like, which was like a positive cultural shock, is that everyone smiles here. So it was quite weird for me. At first I was confused,
Because in
I thought
Hungary,
the
it's
same.
not the same.
No, it's not. And I understand that because I come from the same culture where people, like usually people in Kazakhstan, they don't smile to each other when they're walking in the street. And here people are smiling and they seem happy. And for me, it was shocking. And I had to get used to it because people are easy here. So the life is easy for them because of the higher life standards. They don't think of many things that usually people in Hungary or people in Kazakhstan would think about. So it's good, but at the same time, I know that I've been through other things, so I can compare it, and I have a value for these things right now. So it's really nice to see that. But usually Swedes, they don't think about such kind of things because, well, Sweden in general has been quite a neutral country, and everything that the rest of the world, most of the world countries have been through, the Swedes, they haven't experienced it, which I'm happy for them. And another cultural like a peculiarity that I noticed is that people, when they say yes, so usually in Kazakhstan people nod like us, or people say aha, but here people say
Wow. So
they
I
say
want to repeat.
like this.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
like breathing
so
or eating a
yeah,
tea.
it's like you're sipping, yeah, or you're like breathing. So in the northern part of Sweden, because Sweden is quite long country, in the
Yeah.
northern part of Sweden, they make it louder, though. So they say, but in the southern part and to the center, they just say like this. So just like they breathe in.
You
It
already
was so
told me
funny.
it's Spanish girl.
The first time I didn't know that, and I was talking to a lady at work, and she kept doing that, and I thought, maybe she has some problems with her breathing. Maybe I said something surprising. Maybe I said something wrong because I was telling her a story. And then she kept doing that. I didn't understand what was the reason. And then I came back from work. I came back home and then I Googled it. Turned out it's a thing.
Wow.
Everyone does that.
So, but funny fact actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, many other things, a lot of them. So I'm experiencing and I'm discovering many things every day. The Swedes, they love this thing called fika.
Yeah.
Fika is time of like it literally means time of gathering for a coffee or a tea to talk with your colleagues, friends.
Yeah.
And at 3, would you imagine, like at 3 p.m. at work, nobody's at their workplaces, nobody's working. They are in the kitchen,
Yeah.
drinking coffee, drinking tea, eating this bakery, this
Mm.
kind of pastries, and
Mhm.
they are enjoying their time. And it's like a normal thing to them. If you don't have a fika, you can't work. They have to have fika.
Yeah, that's cool. We
Yeah.
also had this fika thing when we were in Gothenburg, but
Yeah.
like I didn't interact it with local people. That was
Ah,
unfortunate one. So I don't
okay.
really know the culture itself. It was just a traveling for 5 days.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. Maybe when you're traveling, you experience it from other sides. You see it, you see the beauty,
Mhm.
and when you interact with the local people, you see everything. You see the explanation for these things. So, like when you walk in the street and you see balconies,
Mhm.
people usually use balconies here for a purpose. They put it like they decorate it, so they actually sit in the balconies, not like us packing the balcony with boxes, with unnecessary things, but they don't do that. So in Sweden, it's normal to like everything has a purpose and you are using that thing for its purpose, not for something else.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's wonderful.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. So next questions I had is about breakthrough moment you experienced.
Yeah.
It happened during the time when you were searching for a job or the challenges you experienced. I know that you are a very active girl. I don't know if you ever experienced it. You always find something engaging, challenging, and at work or outside of work. Can you
Uh-huh.
share about your experience of breakthrough moment?
Of course, of course. Well, I started applying to Sweden, let's say draftly 3 years ago when it was a pandemic, like when the pandemic started,
Mhm.
or let's say 2.5 years ago. So it was just a random application. So I have always dreamt of living in Scandinavian countries. So for me, Sweden was one of the options.
Mhm.
And I was applying just like any position, like how people usually do, any positions that you find on LinkedIn, you keep applying. And I haven't just focused on that much. But then later, what happened is that I started to engage more in life and career coaching. And at coaching, it helps to answer the questions, like those essential philosophical questions, like what I'm gonna do in 5 years, where I'm gonna end up, what I want to do, what I want from my life, etc. So these questions usually people don't think of. And I started thinking about it. And then I realized, well, I don't like where I was at that moment,
Mhm.
meaning I didn't like the work that I was doing. Although it was interesting, I thought that, well, I reached the potential. I wanted more and more. And as you said, like I'm quite active and I want the diversity.
Mhm.
So I started applying, but I was more focused. So I read the every important requirement that the position would have, and I just started applying. So it was like one small moment when I found this position at IKEA, and the position's requirements, half of them were like out of space, and I thought I wouldn't be able to match them. But the half of it was actually matching my profile because I had a background in that area. And then I thought, okay, let me try. But instead of applying directly from LinkedIn, I went to the website of IKEA, found that position, and applied directly from the website, which is way more effective. And
Mhm.
then suddenly it just went very fast. I got my first interview with HR, the second interview with HR, third and fourth. So it's generally 4 interviews. And then it went so fast that I didn't even think about it. I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. And in the meantime, I wasn't applying to anywhere because I was focused on this position. I
Mhm.
wanted to get there.
Mhm.
So that's how it went. But the turning point for me was when I started to think of, life and where you want to be.
Mhm.
And things before they seemed impossible to achieve. Sometimes we think that this is something that we will never be able to do. We cannot reach that. So IKEA for me was something like Google, like something that I will never be able to get to. And it seemed so far from me. But then I started to realize that, well, it will sound cliche, but everything is in the head. So
Yes.
I started thinking, what are the things that I can do? And I just coached, let's say, I just coached myself, trying to have a goal, trying to separate it into different action steps. And it helped me because the first time I got my response back from the HR that I passed the first interview, it gave me hope, and it gave me something that I could base my further goals on. And at that moment, I think, okay, let's try. Not no pressure on myself, but nothing will happen if I just try. It's
Yeah.
not a fail, and even if it's a fail, it's a good fail. I will learn from it. So I try to be less harsh on myself, not pushing myself, not expecting like a huge results from me. And that's when it helped. So it was like a combination of all these things. But everything started from the moment when I started to be involved in coaching. Because when you coach someone, or when you like when you are learning coaching, it helps a lot. You just start to rethink of all the life priorities that you have, and you have a clear picture of where you are, and you have a picture of what you want to be or who you want to be. So I think the moment you start to think about these life questions, everything changes.
Yes, I remember you were coaching me, and it was really helpful. Actually,
Yeah.
now I'm doing what I want. So you actually impacted.
Oh,
Now
thank you. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you are.
I'm so glad that you found
Oh,
a place.
no, thank you. It's
I
like
remember you
so
were
good to
asking
see
these big why questions, and it was so motivating. And I tried to understand the whole picture. And then I realized, well, why I'm doing here in Hungary. And then I moved
Yeah.
for now. For
Oh, wow. I'm so happy. Well, this means a lot to me. I mean it, because when I see that people are changing their lives, it's not easy. It's not.
yeah, it's
But that's why we have coaching. That's why you keep yourself up to your goals. And oh,
yeah.
I'm so happy.
Guys, if you want a career coach, Raykhan is right here.
uh, yeah,
He
I'll
will
be
guide
happy to help.
define
Yeah,
purpose
for
for
sure.
you. Awesome.
Thank
That's so
you.
cool. Okay. The next questions. Sorry, I wrote
It's
it
all
down
right.
somewhere. Okay. I wanted to know what do you currently like about your current job? What excites you? What kind of tasks
Mhm.
makes you motivated to go
Right.
to go and to build your career in IKEA?
Yeah. Well, for me right now, I like the part that I'm learning, and I'm learning every day, but it's part of an onboarding process. So now I am not doing as much of the work that I will be doing, but I'm mostly engaging in learning. So because I have been to different international companies, I didn't expect this level of onboarding process. So when the first day when I arrived, first of all, I was greeted by the manager, by the regional manager, and we talked, and I was told that there is no pressure. I was told that several times, and many people reached out to me, just came to me and said, look, we are not expecting any amazing, huge results from you in 6 months. You don't have to like perform on the highest level. It's all right if you don't know anything by 3 months. It's normal, because the company is huge. It's a lot of structural things, organizational things. So it's really hard to remember everything. And then everyone who reached out to me was saying, take your time. Like, this is what I like. This for now, this is, I like the feeling of belonging to a team. I'm not alone.
Right.
I'm not just, because previously in my previous positions, I would be just thrown out to this position, given some instructions, and just do your work. Here it doesn't work that way. So here, before starting my work, I get to know what other teams are doing, because we are interconnected. And it's so nice because each of them, so they are giving me some presentations. So they're showing me
Like
their
work shadowing.
detail,
Work shadowing.
kind of a work shadowing, and they do it in a very easy way.
Mhm.
And it's so important to know what others are doing, because that their work will affect me and my work will affect them. So I am enjoying this moment right now, because I think it's a very friendly and smart way of doing the onboarding process. Another thing that I like is that people are okay if you just reach out to them and say, hey, I have a question. I don't understand this and this, or what is this and this? And people expect me to ask questions, and it's a normal thing. And even IKEA, it has 8 values, and one of them is the value of togetherness. And also it's normal in IKEA to do mistakes and to learn from your mistakes. So the whole team and the whole company is trying to follow those values. And for them, those values are like a Bible. So they are just following them. And every day they are reminding themselves that this, and this, togetherness, leading with an example, being a model, a role model to others, helping others. And also another thing, on the first week of my my work time at IKEA, there was a video where it said, the moment you think that you are better than others, you're not good for IKEA. You're not a fit at IKEA.
Yeah. Everyone is imperfect.
Yeah, so it's an equality. Their experiences, so it doesn't matter. And I really like this idea. I don't want to idealize the work environment, of course, no. But so far, I am enjoying it. These are the parts that I'm enjoying. And I like that people are open. So anything happens, they would be willing to help you.
Yes.
And people are very they are curious about what you do, and they try to engage you in their work as well. So you don't feel like you're in a bubble. You're not alone. I like this kind of
not an individualistic culture, but also kind of corporative.
Right. It's more of a community.
Community.
And you see these things even in the kitchen. There is a kitchen area, open area, and they don't have small tables. During lunchtime, you sit in a long table next to others so that you communicate with them. This is so nice. And of course, there are things that I don't understand. Mostly people speak Swedish, which is normal because I got used to that in Hungary. But here, it's completely different. Here, they would, mostly people apologize to me saying, oh my God, sorry, we were speaking Swedish. We will switch to English. And I'm like, this is so sweet. I like it. I like that they understand. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see.
So yeah.
Okay, that's so cool. Actually, yeah, about organizational values in when I was applying to other companies as well, for instance, Amazon, they had also 15 leadership skills I had to memorize, and in HR, they also asked this kind of questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Organizations have this kind of values.
Yeah, it's good to have them because that how they recruit, and also that's what helps them to move further. Because without the values, even in the coaching we were discussing what we value the most, what is important to us, because that's what helps people to come together. So the values, they unite us. Even in a friendship, we share values. So I like this approach. I like this idea, and it's helping to move on, and it's helping to learn things in a easier way.
Okay. Wow, awesome. Thank you for sharing the value.
Oh, thank you too.
The last one. What would you advise for your younger self?
Oh, that's a very good question. I would say to be
When you were
brave.
studying in Central European
Yeah,
University.
European University. Yeah, I would say to be brave.
Yeah.
To dare to do things, even though you feel that you are not competent enough, etc. But these are the insecurities that come from inside. And I wouldn't say like fake it till you make it. Even there is another phrase like fake it till you become it. I wouldn't even say that, because this is mostly about the being brave, having this courage to dare to do things. Because at work, sometimes well, most of the times right now, I feel like I know nothing. I don't understand anything. Or sometimes you think, I'm not good enough, or I am not the good fit for this company. You start to doubt yourself because this comes from the insecurities, from the lack of knowledge. But if you dare to do that, if you dare to take one step, the second step is easier to do.
Mhm.
So I think to be brave and to also to like to love yourself in a way that to say you're good, you're doing good, to believe in yourself, to believe in the things that you can do that, even though you don't know how to do that, but you're gonna do that. So I think I would advise my younger self, like 5 years ago, to do this. And but it's so good that actually I didn't know that back at that time, because it was the growth to me. And where I am right now is thanks to those things that I was lacking at that moment. But now I am not getting it all, but I'm slowly getting to that area. So yeah, and I think it's very good to know to our generation, and also to our people, mostly from who are from our culture, because in our culture you need to stay humble, you need to like suppress yourself, you need to match the standards. But the thing is, there are no standards, and I don't understand why uh, we are bordered by these standards.
Shaping.
Yes, and you have to just fit yourself into this box, while you are not like you're not a box at all. You are bigger than it. So stop doubting. Yeah, I think stop doubting yourself, and just uh, just think that you can do it. And of course it's hard to do that, but I think the inner belief and
Mhm.
this fear, this genuine feeling that you are your best friend, you have your own support, because the whole support comes from your inner self, from the inner you. And when you have this stable foundation inside you, the feeling of knowing that you will do that, believing in yourself, I think that helps a lot, because many people lack that, and many people seek that things in the outside world. They seek it through doing some other stuff, some additional things. But what happens is that you are lacking that within. So I don't know, some people call it inner child, some people call it inner self, inner voice, inner world, but it comes from within. Once you start to think that I have this solid base, I have the support that I am lacking from outside, but I am having it inside, it helps a lot. It helps a lot. Then it builds your courage, it builds your self-esteem, it builds your standing on the ground and just walking on the firm steps. That means a lot. So yeah, I think everything starts from the inside.
Yeah, you're right. That's why nowadays so many people go to the psychologist. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so glad about it, because the therapy became so available, and the stigma of, oh my God, you're going to a therapist, are you okay, is lessening, because now people really understand, wow, my world is just a mess, I need to fix it.
Yeah.
And the responsibility that you're gonna take, like no other shrinks, or no other, this fortune tellers, they won't help you, they won't help you get this confidence. No, it comes from the inside. Just start dealing with your mess, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of putting aside or putting this responsibility on others, try to take the responsibility of yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Golden. I also need to learn. Okay. Thank you for your time, Raykhan. It was an honor
Thank you.
to talk
Oh, it was honor to me. Thank you so much.
to you.
I
Amazing.
I
And
am
it was
always
a
happy
great
to talk to you.
motivation speech at the end. I will recorded it, and yeah, I'm sure that a lot of people, Kazakhstani citizens or other, since we are recording it in English, and not only Kazakhstan but other countries will also see it, and I'm sure that you are making an impact to the world. I hope.
Oh, thank you, Dana. This means a lot. Your words as warm as usual. You're not greedy on warm words, on wishes. I like that in you, that you're very kind, and what you're doing right now, I think it's amazing. It's wonderful that you're sharing it with the whole world, as you said, and the knowledge that you're sharing is so accessible. And I think this will impact, as you said, the same to you. It will impact many souls, many people.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. It
Thank you too.
was a great time. Let me stop the recording and
Okay.